What up, Alpha Team? It's DJ AlphaTyler back again with another reaction. Y'all know what Fridays are. Fridays are for favorites. Fridays are when Tom MacDonald drops his new videos. And Fridays are usually when we come around to check them out. So we got this new Tom MacDonald track right here. It's called Fake Woke. And I'm super excited to see what Tom MacDonald is bringing with this one. I haven't checked it out yet. It just premiered earlier today. Glad to be back on this same day reaction cycle with Tom MacDonald. We ended up getting slowed down on the last one and then ended up checking it out on another channel with some other reactors and all that stuff, if y'all are wondering where that was. But we got Fake Woke right here. We ready to go. I don't need the long intro and everything with Tom MacDonald. Y'all know who he is. Hangover Gang running rampant on this channel. In the comments, in the subscriber counts and everything. Hangover Gang, what up? Alpha Team, what up? Let's get ready to rock and roll. Before we do, I got one thing I gotta ask. I got a couple of things to ask, actually. Let's not lie. I gotta ask that if you haven't done so already, you hit that subscribe button down below to join the Alpha Team. Ding that notification bell to get on the notification squad so that you always know when we got some new content dropping. And do not forget, my friends, make absolutely sure that if you enjoy the reaction, you hit that like button. It just means ever so much to me. And head over and check out the original content if you haven't already. This is Fake Woke by Tom MacDonald. Let's get it. Hang on. We got technical difficulties. I didn't even realize my headphones weren't plugged in. Now let's get it.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it.
We're going back to that old Tom. We're going back to that old Tom way. See, now, I've not been one of the people saying you changed or anything like that, and I'm not going to start saying that he changed now, but I mean, he just coming out saying, hey, Cardi B, how's Cardi B a role model for teenagers, but I'm the bad influence. You know, you got these rappers out here pushing drugs and everything. They go to the top of the charts with that, but you know, hey, not me, push me down, right? I got to be afraid to say anything about race in the song. Why? We got
backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump.
There we go. We just putting everybody on blast right now. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now doesn't want fans if they voted a certain way. Wow, Tom. Wow, we coming out. This is like going back to like Tom message, not sound message. Going back to Tom circa exposure or something, man. Because we going all in. We just talking about, hey, this is what's going on. Where y'all coming from? How y'all gonna criticize? How y'all gonna talk about this? Why is all this happening right here? Okay.
We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up.
God bless. That's something we've talked about a lot. Listen, okay? We have talked a lot on this channel. I know we're pausing some, but I mean, the man is saying stuff we need to be listening to. Listen, it's like when we talk about the kneeling for the national anthem, right? Do you have the right to kneel for the anthem? Absolutely. You have the right to kneel for the anthem. You have the right to do whatever you feel is necessary in that regard. But you know what? I still don't have to support your team. I still don't have to do this and that, because guess what? Guess why I will never kneel for the anthem? Guess why I will never disrespect our flag, the symbol of this country, because what that flag stands for is the only country in the world where you have the freedom to decide how you want to feel about the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to kneel for it. You don't have to love that flag. You don't have to love this country. You can hate it and get stoned while you're hating it, like he said. And it's fine, and we protect that right. Why would you not stand? Why would you not, you know, show respect to the image of that right that you have? I mean, that's the thing to me. That's why I always stand for our flag. At the end of the day, that flag represents my freedoms as an American, and my freedoms as an American include exactly what
Children, we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never free.
And we talking right here. We're talking about the Me Too movement. We're talking about cancel culture. I literally had somebody let me know in a comment the other day on a Mises reaction that she was reporting my video as harmful. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, all because we had a disagreement. Like, look at what cancel culture has gotten to the point of. Like, we are talking about people losing their livelihoods, people losing their platforms, people losing their ability to have a different opinion just because they disagree with you and you don't like that. Come on, Tom.
Read the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens. We think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
I'm willing to bet a lot of people are saying that they don't like the hook in this one. I don't mind the hook in this one. It's a regular Tom hook. Y'all know I never really get caught up in the hooks anyway. But listening through that last piece, I wanted to pause right away, but I wanted a little bit more time so that we could actually say we were a minute into the song before we hit the 8-minute mark on my reaction. But he mentioned something I really like there too. He talking about slavery. He's talking about them new chains that we've got. Make no mistake, that little screen that you're holding in your hand that you stay glued to and can't move away from, you're a slave to it. And that's what he's saying right there. He's saying they took it away. They gave us something that's going to hold us in place. They gave us something that's going to keep us submissible, keep adults sitting down, looking down at their phone, like you talked about earlier on in the song, keep us where they want us. They gave us that thing, and we don't even realize it. We just take it as an entertainment tool and move on about our day. Come on now.
I think it's crazy how these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter, but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's a difference.
Man, and he talking about there too. Just a quick pass through. I mean, we're pausing more, yeah, but it needs to be said. But he talking about right there. He talking about the hypocrisy. He's talking about having a daughter that you love and care for. I have a daughter that I love and care for. He's talking about having that child that you love and care for, but then your favorite rapper, that person that you're bumping all the time, even when you're driving your daughter around, that person is only talking about slaying hoes and everything. That person would have no respect for your daughter, no respect for your wife. Like, he's talking about the hypocrisy in that, the double standard that we have right there. How does that get put on? How are we supposed to be effective role models when we want to listen to trash that's saying, hey, women don't matter, women aren't worth anything? Hey, I've been talking a ton lately about Eminem and where Eminem stands, and I can't rock with Eminem's message anymore. You know what I'm saying? And part of that is on that same note. How am I supposed to be a strong father, a strong example of a man in my daughter's eyes, if I'm listening to something that goes contrary to the message that I'm trying to teach her every day?
From school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same.
I'm talking about censorship. Man, Tom, you're about to get shut down right here. Like, for real. Like, you got to come back and say, just kidding or something at the end of this, because they ain't gonna let this ride. I mean, they ain't gonna let this ride. Like, God bless. We talking for real. We say, okay, who all he triggered right there? He talking about censorship being so targeted. He's saying, censorship, it's not about hate speech anymore. It's about speech you don't like. It's about speech you don't want to hear. It's about shutting down those people who are saying those things that make you uncomfortable because they ain't what you're saying. And he's right. I mean, he is right. Y'all can't tell me he's not right. The second part, what was it he flowed into right there? He's saying Black Lives, he's talking about Black Lives Matter right there. God bless. And he's saying, you know what? That's a bad name. He's saying it's a bad name. It shouldn't be Black Lives Matter because everybody getting screwed by the system the same way right now. He's saying, really go back? That's what everybody's upset about. When you come out railing that Black Lives Matter, yeah, they do. So do poor white kids. So do poor Hispanic kids. So do poor Asian people. Like it's like the problem people have with Black Lives Matter is not in Black Lives Matter. It's not about the Black Lives mattering. Yes, they do. I don't think anybody with a single brain cell believes that they don't. Like,
I just want to spend Thanksgiving Day with food and my family without being accused of celebrating native casualties. We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are bigots, libtards if you're liberal. There's riots in our streets and it's just getting worse. Y'all screaming deep on the police, y'all are genius for sure. They're underfunded already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first.
God bless, man. We talking the real issue. We talking the big issues, and we started that off with, yo, man. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving without being accused of celebrating the deaths of people. There ain't a single place on Earth where the current inhabitants are probably, you know what? I mean, we have had throughout history, because somebody gonna throw out China being thousands of years rolling and stuff. But throughout history, real talk, think about it. Throughout history, there have been conquerors. There have been people coming over and taking over regions, territories, countries, and everything like that. America's no difference. And yes, is that horrible for the people that it happened to? Absolutely. But guess what? The big thing about being American is that you come from this mixed bag of ancestry. This is the land where equality is possible. This is the land where, if you go to China, guess what? They're all Chinese. If you go to, I'm not saying all of them. I'm sure that there's some white dudes living in China and all that. But I'm saying, like, you go to China, most people are Chinese. You go to, any country in the world, most people are the natives of that region, except in America. We are this mixed bag. There are Native Americans. There are, black, white, Asian. Like, there's literally everything in America. It's this mixed bag where everybody is truly on that level footing and everything. In 2021, I'm not saying we haven't had our issues with inequality in the past. We absolutely have. But in 2021, it is level footing for everybody. Stop pretending like celebrating Thanksgiving is celebrating the death and genocides of I mean, come on. And then he's talking about police being underfunded and all that too, man. Facts, yes. If you order DoorDash right now, it will get to your house quicker than a cop will. And the cops are supposed to be helping you in an emergency.
Already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first. Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves.
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
We use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin.
Oh man, I lingered, and I know I shouldn't be holding off on talking about things so much, but he was talking about segregation as a tool in politics right now, and again, just something to really think about is how it's used as a tool in our current system. It really is. We are segregated. We are forced apart. And again, what he's talking about right here, though, what did he start that with?
Fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
We use violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin.
Yeah, he's talking about Antifa. He's talking about the riots in the streets and everything going on. I mean, real talk. We're talking about going and looting and burning down businesses and everything to try and achieve peace and equality. Wanting somebody to give a certain group of people more to try and achieve peace and equality. He's saying all that stuff right there. That's like It's like getting a train ran on you and then trying to be a virgin and claiming that's how you're trying to be a virgin. Like, how much sense does that make? Come on now.
Politicians are for sale and someone always makes the purchase. But you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless. If a man has mental illness, call him crazy. Say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society. Get sick and take a pill. When the side effects get you high, you get addicted like these rappers dying fighting with sobriety. Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety. I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. They're trying to change.
Yes. He's talking about in the past. He's talking about, listen, when we're censoring and shutting down all this stuff, he's saying it's not benefiting anybody. Yeah, it might hurt one or two people's feelings less, that's all gone. But he's saying, listen, look at what this really is. This is not about helping anybody. You're making people dumber. You're taking away, listen, the most able person is going to be the most informed person. Something can be terrible. We should still teach about it. You know how in China you can't talk about Tiananmen Square. Are we turning into China where we're saying you can't talk about the Civil War? You can't talk about these people. You can't talk about these events. Let's tear down the monuments that remember them. That is a part of our country's history, whether we're proud of it or not. And like you said right there, what do you have to be afraid of? If your points are legitimate, if your points are valid, what is the fear in letting somebody look at and discuss this event, this thing, this period? Why not? Why should we not be educated and know about that? Come on now.
That empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. They're trying to change amen to amen and women. How we let them make praying a microaggression. Instead of asking God for the strength to keep winning, we cheat to get ahead and then we ask him for forgiveness. Feminism used to be the most righteous of fights, but these days it feels like they secretly hate guys. I don't trust anyone who bleeds for a week and don't die. I'm just kidding, but everything else that I said is right.
That last part, I like how he went out on a joke right there. He doesn't trust. We've all heard that joke and everything, but you know what he's talking about through here. I mean, it's all valid. I mean, y'all really think about the message behind this song, where we're getting at. We're fighting inequality with inequality. We're fighting, we're throwing on idols that shouldn't be our idols. We've literally, like he said right there, we have turned praying into a microaggression. Amen is an actual word. A woman is not an actual thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you say something like that as a joke, that's fine, but this is not a joke anymore. People have taken this way too far. We have, like he said, we have actually turned praying into a microaggression where it is triggering to you, if you are a female, that we have to say amen. I mean, how are we that offended?
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake woke. Same old safe zones. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Man, y'all know Tom brought it in that one. Y'all know Tom about to get in so much trouble over that one too, though. So that was Fake Woke by Tom MacDonald. I mean, he talking all these things, and really at the end of it, how do we see this much hypocrisy in our system and just go along with it? How do people convince themselves? I'm telling y'all, if you haven't read 1984 at this point in your life, y'all need to be reading 1984. It's hands down the most important work of fiction that I've ever read in my life. And just I 100% suggest that you can pick up copies of it super cheap. If you have not done so already, y'all need to be picking up copies of 1984, because read about the concepts, and y'all are gonna see so many of the concepts that George Orwell talked about are just coming to life today, including the ability to see something and trick yourself, reprogram your mind on the spot to believe that it just isn't true. I mean, we're looking at someone how do you look at Cardi B and want her to be the role model that your daughter follows or grows up looking at? Going back to how he started the song, how is that and the dudes pushing pills up at the top of the charts? Like, how are those the role models that we want? But we want to make sure that people like Tom MacDonald aren't getting the platform that they've earned. You know what I'm saying? We're already at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this off. This song has so much important, man. Tom is just, he's bringing such a message right here, and 100%. If you ain't catching it, like you've got to learn, like break away from the programming. You don't always have to be considered acceptable. You don't always have to be politically correct. You don't always have to be on the line that they're telling you to go down, man. Stand for what is right. Stand for what you believe in. That's all I gotta say. Y'all hit me up on the socials if y'all are interested. If you haven't already, my voice cracked just then. Don't make fun of me. I appreciate you guys so much, though. Hope y'all are staying safe, taking care. Appreciate you hanging out with me, you know, watching this. And if you haven't, go show some love to the original. Like, share, and subscribe over here as well. That's all I got for you. Stay safe. Take care. I'm DJ AlphaTyler. Shout out to my boy Jason JV. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time.
Now it's time to roll 13, closing up. We can't wait no more. Lofty goals, but the end is in my sight. Got the timing right now, just gotta get it right. 13 so far, dark as night. Ain't a lot we've been through, shine very bright. But 13, time to shed some light. Everybody open up as we reveal this fight. Closing this one out like I opened last. All the time has slipped by, and it's all in the past.